Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, third grade. Welcome to the lesson 2. Today we are going to see an important topic. Like always, the topic of today is about the invention of the penicillin. What is the penicillin? The penicillin is a kind of antibiotic or medicine that helps to combat or kill bacteria in our organisms or in our body. It's really important, this invention, and we are going to see who invented, how, and when, and what for was the invention of this important medicine, penicillin. Let's go. Okay, the first thing we are going to see is that we are going to see the name of this inventor is Alexander Fleming, right? Alexander Fleming, he invented the penicillin, and we are going to see how he did it, when he did it, and the penicillin. The function is to keep our body and combat or kill bacteria that cause infections or different kind of sicknesses in our body. So it's important to understand what's going on with these inventions. So this is an example how the bacteria, you can see it with microscope, is look dying with the penicillin, is disappearing because the penicillin kill it, right? This is a picture about how with one microscope you can see it. The reading said a moldy discovery. What it does mean moldy? You know, right? Moldy is something that is como un hongo, ¿verdad? Moldy is something that is like the mushroom is a kind of fungi, right? So the question is, have you ever taken penicillin when you were sick? Me too. Me too. Yeah. Or me, yes. I have been with penicillin in my body when I was sick. People who knew Alexander Fleming knew he was a great scientist and doctor. They also knew he was a bit sloppy. Do you know what does mean sloppy? Right? Someone that is not so ready, right? Like despistado, someone that is like always he was sloppy. However, without his sloppiness, one of his greatest discoveries of the 20th century might not have happened. Alexander Fleming grew up in Scotland and worked for a short time in a post office. His brother was a doctor. He thought Fleming should become one as well. In 1906, Fleming finished medical schools instead of becoming a doctor through his shoes to be a bacteriologist. He will study how bacteria made people sick. Amazing. It's a little bit about the biography of Alexander Fleming. This is a picture about how the moldy kill the bacterias versus bacterias, fungi versus bacteria. The penicillin is a kind of moldy, right? Moldy or bacteria versus bacteria, but the penicillin is a special kind of moldy discovered. In 1914, the World War, la Guerra Mundial, the World War, right, 1914, I broke out across Europe, right? In Europe, Fleming served in the army. As a medical doctor, he treated hundreds of injured soldiers. The unclean battlefields, it was not clean, right? Means bacteria often go into wounds. What does mean wound? Wound is when you open your skin, right? And you feel and you have blood. This is wound. When you cut your skin, So imagine in a war, right, we have a lot of injuries, a lot of soldiers, a lot of blood and wounds. Fleming saw many men die from infections. Oh my God. The doctors tried to fight infections by pouring antiseptics like iodine. Iodine is yodo, right? Or is the one that is a kind of chemical that you can put in the wounds to onto the wounds, right? Fleming noticed that the infection often go worse. So in other words, the iodine doesn't work correct because the infections grow and get worse instead of better, right? So he soon realized the antiseptics did not just kill bad bacteria, they also killed anything the body was making for a fight to the infection. So the antiseptics did not kill bad bacteria, right? The antiseptic and the iodine was not a good treatment for the in this case treatments of bacteria. So this is another picture of Alexander Fleming. So the penicillin, I'm going to read. This is the last part of the penicillin that you have to pay attention. After the war, Fleming made his first big discovery. Pay attention. He found a chemical called lysozyme. It's one of the body's natural germs killer. Lysozyme is one of the body's natural germs killers. Probably one of the things destroyed when iodine was poured on a wound. Pay attention. Fleming grew the bacteria and he studied in small dishes. So he take the bacteria from the wound, ese germ of the body, and put it in a dish, right? And see the reaction of this, in this case, this bacteria. And he studied the small dishes. These little dishes fill his lab, grow, right? So there were so many of them. Fleming easily lost track of them in the messy space. Later, when he found a dish that had been missing, it was often moldy and needed to be thrown away. So he found a fungus in other dish, and I don't know how he made this like an accident, and something happened, and the moldy mix with the bacteria. Where were the bacteria? The bacteria he found in the wounds of the soldiers, right? So one time Fleming was about to toss one of his moldy specimens, right? And toss is when you throw something, right? And he noticed something strange. Whatever mold grew in the dish, and the bacteria did not. So when he mixed this, right, that mold was stopping the bacteria from reproducing. This mold was in the Penicillium family, so he named it penicillin. The story of the penicillin is very important to know, so it's time to answer I read the last paragraph. That today, right, is true. Penicillin is used to fight many kind of bacteria. There's a good chance you have taken penicillin. If you had been ill, yeah, everybody used penicillin, right? Who will have through mold could be such a good thing. So, ¿quién se lo iba a imaginar, right? So the moldy or the mold helped to kill the bacteria. In this case, he found, in other words, medicine and called penicillin. So this is the conclusion of the reading. I hope you are understanding. I read about Alexander Fleming, right? The story he did, the way he did. In 1904, 1914, he became doctor. Remember the biography? and he had a brother, and he was doctor too, and he did one of the most important inventions in that century. So the classwork is super easy. Don't forget to write your name. Don't forget to write your name. Circle the letter of the best answer to each question below. Penicillin is A, an antiseptic, an iodine, C, mold, both A and B. The answer is mold. Super easy. What does penicillin do? Super easy. It kill mold? No, because it's mold. It stop bleeding? No. It keeps bacteria from reproducing? This is the answer. And the last one is, it clean dishes? Not right. The letter C is the answer. It keeps bacteria from reproducing. Stop the bacteria reproducing. And this is the way how the penicillin work. The question 3, sorry, is antiseptics are used. Option A, to clean first aid kits. No. To kill germs. To grow mold. All of the above. Antiseptics are used. What for? To kill germs. This is the option, right? So the next item or next item is about true or false. I'm going to hurry. Write true or false to the next statement below. Fleming helped injured soldiers during the World War I. Yes, it's true. He did it. Bacteria live in the mold that Fleming discovered in the name penicillin. Yes, it's true. Iodine is a kind of bacteria. No, it's a kind of medicine. Bacteria are found only in the labs. No, it's true. We can find it everywhere. Even in the wounds of the soldiers, remember, they found bacteria. Right? Super easy. We can find bacteria in everywhere. So the last one is write your name on the lines below and answer the question. Did Fleming use a hypothesis to discover penicillin? Explain how your answer. I think his hypothesis was more practical, because in the moment he was in a war. Él estaba en una guerra, estaba estresado porque mucha gente estaba muriendo. Entonces no es que usó tanto una hipótesis. I think he did an experiment, right? And he test, and remember that he did like he was mixing, right, super quickly, and found this invention. It's like an invention, right? But I don't know, he used an hypothesis to test it. I think, yeah, but more than a hypothesis is an experiment, in actually an invention that is super cool and super helpful for the humanity, for the society, for everybody. Okay, see you next week. The next class. I love you. Bye bye. In the mid, we are going to discover this important topic that you have to know. Remember, right? Inventors of the story of science. Bye.